got to show respect to the good book. Can't just put it on the seat. You know, before I begin, let me appreciate my brother. Make this very clear. I'm not better than anyone. And all of us in here have a story to tell. Tonight is not that time for the storytelling. I look up to my brother. Though physically he looks up to me. But I look up to that man because he has been through things that I have never been through. He's been through things that I pray I would never go through. But it's the things that he has been through that has led me to be as blessed as I am. So to you, Robert, yes, you are my double brother because we are in the same fraternity. But more importantly, you're my brother. And let me stand as an example to say, I love you. And it does not break man law when one man tells another man he loves him, especially when it's brotherly love. And you're right. With the exception of my wife, you're the best person to introduce me because you know me unlike any other. And I thank you. To everyone, before the sound of my voice, I greet you with much humbleness, appreciation, and excitement. I'm humbled because I'm speaking before an astute grouping of leaders, accomplishers, and visionaries. I stand in appreciation of my esteemed fraternity brothers for electing me to serve as speaker for the evening. And I'm excited for the very same two reasons I just cited. Before I proceed any further, I extend a hearty thank you to the set leader of this house of worship, St. John Missionary Baptist Church, its leadership and congregation for being the host location for this illustrious celebratory event. As a mediator, I've come to the conclusion that it's not how long you talk, it's the gravity and impact of the dialogue. Thus, as I project my message to you, please do not attune your listening ears to my list when you hear those words which begin with the letter S, or the jargon of my country dialect. Instead, extract from my conveyed words what will benefit you most to motivate you to become beyond better than your best, but to become conquerors in all you charge yourself to become and accomplish today, tomorrow, and in the near future. On many occasions I've been asked, are you a preacher? Now I do understand that many are called but few are chosen, so my quick response is, no, I'm not a preacher. But if it was, I would be a preacher. No, Let me stop. I'm not a preacher. I don't even want to try to sound like one. Let me stop. But since I am standing in the pulpit, don't be surprised if the embedded preacher in me manifests itself. And I will tell you this, because I know me. If I begin to walk towards you throughout my speech, watch out. Because that means I'm about to preach. Not about, but bout to preach. I'm sure everyone before the sound of my voice knows why we're here this evening. However, I'd venture to say not everyone knows the backstory to how our honorees got to where they are today and the victory-laden path they're on. I take it further and assert that something enveloped within, around, and about you, honorees, that led you to becoming who you are as you sit here today. And as a reminder to all, who they are leaders, accomplishers, and visionaries. I believe what led our honorees and all to where you are all today is because you walked in the spirit of can-will-do. Now, can-will-do is not a form of martial arts or a term used in the world's most exotic languages. So maybe I need to slow it down a tad as I pronounce it again. Can, will, do. Can, will, do are individual words that are indicative of confidence, commitment, and action. I put them in short sentences. I can succeed. That's confidence in oneself. I will succeed. That's confidence speaking success into existence, and the precipitator to this next sentence. I will do what it takes to succeed. That's action through commitment. Now let me append to the word commitment. Don't just commit to achieving your goals. Be absolute in your commitment to your objectives. Merriam-Webster defines commit as to say that someone or something would definitely do something. But a second ago, I said don't just commit, be absolute in your commitment. So per Merriam-Webster, absolute is defined as complete and total, not limited in any way, having unlimited power. So when you put the two together, this is what you have: absolute commitment. Thus, this is what I encourage of you. Definitely do something completely and totally, not limiting yourself in any way, shape, or form, because you have the power to accomplish it. Are you familiar with this Holy Bible verse from Proverbs 18:21? King James Bible. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. The New Living Translation cites, the tongue can bring death or life. Those who love to talk will reap the consequences. Can, will, do. These words spoken, by the tongue, when the intent is honorable, for example, wanting to graduate from middle school to high school, wanting to graduate from high school, wanting to go to college, wanting to start your own business, wanting to become a professional athlete. If you speak life into it, it will conceivably be born. I say conceivably because it's more than just speaking it. You have to do what it takes to make it manifest into fruition. Adopt into your mindset Proverbs 18:21, because this is one of the building blocks to our successes and victories. God Almighty, bless me with the most loving, caring, and supportive wife and our 3 wonderful children. Please stand. Now I'm about to become transparent and publicly tell our children aloud what we've told them before. Mark Daniel, Marcel, stand up, please. Never say, I can't and it's too hard. Instead, say, I want to and I need help. Or it's challenging. Because if you say you can't, then you won't. If you say it's too hard, then you're saying you don't have the means, wherewithal, or propensity to achieve. Hear me clearly. It's okay to ask for help. Also, don't state it's too hard. Instead, say it's challenging, and rest assured, with help, you will conquer that challenge because you accepted the challenge. You can have a seat. I love it. Understand something, everybody. As parents, we have to train our children in the way of Proverbs 18:21. I don't recall that passage revealing you have to be of a certain age to receive it, or this passage no longer qualifies when you reach a certain age of maturity. Even at 6 years old and 8 years old and our 2-year-old, we're teaching them to believe in themselves, to be accomplishers and not quitters, leaders and not followers. We speak victories into our children's lives, but they have to be on one accord with us and speak victories into their own lives. They learn to become on one accord with us as their parents by way of example. As daddy and mommy to our children, we have to live a life of example for them to see and feel. How can they believe they are conquerors if we don't demonstrate it? How can they know that they are leaders in the making if we only present ourselves as followers? Integrity is what we're instilling in our children, encompassing kindness, charity, respect, honor, family, and faith. So every day and night, we emphatically, unwaveringly, unceasingly remind them, you are leaders, you are conquerors, you are victorious. Now let me tie this into our honorees' backstory. I'm confident every one of our honorees possess the spirit of can, will, do because of their current dossier of successes. This has occurred because they have people in their lives sitting here today who emphatically, unwaveringly, unceasingly tell and remind them by living example, you are leaders, you are conquerors, you are victorious. And I'm equally confident that they will maintain this can-will-do attitude in order to continue being successful and achieving excellence. You know why? Because each and every one of them, from the youngest to the more mature in age, are leaders. Leaders in their own right. By the way, as an aside, let me offer what one of the major qualities of a leader is. One who is always striving for unabridged excellence. Merriam-Webster defines unabridged as not shortened by leaving out some parts. In other words, leaders don't cut corners when striving for unabridged excellence. Actually, leaders are the embodiment of the word. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Bear with me, everybody. Please forgive me. I may be in air. Hey, I may err, but I'm doing the best I can. Y'all might.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
Okay, I'm sorry. Leaders don't cut corners when striving for unabridged excellence. Actually, leaders are the embodiment of the word meticulous. Now, I'm not turning this celebratory event into an English lesson. I just want to make sure I'm using the right words correctly. Basically, I'm being meticulous. To be meticulous is to, per Merriam-Webster, be very careful about doing something in an extremely accurate and exact way. How many of you, when you go to the ATM for a withdrawal, sit in your car for seconds on end, counting your money to make sure that ATM machine gave you the amount you requested? You did that with the expectation that the ATM machine was meticulous in dispensing your money, that it was extremely accurate and exact. If any of you possess the vision to becoming a physician, such as a surgeon, best believe your patient is praying for you to be meticulous in the operating room. But to be meticulous, you have to go against the norm. The norm for most is to do just enough to get something done. The norm for most students could be, I'll study the night before the test because as long as I get a 70, I pass. But if you're meticulous and you're a meticulous student, you will invest hours and days, maybe weeks, into your studies because you want to achieve the highest grade possible, such as 100. The norm student will say yes to going to a party before studying just to maintain their coolness with their so-called friends. Whereas the meticulous student won't subject himself or herself to be called a nerd when the choice is to study instead of party. This leads me to say two things. First, you need to employ discretion and discernment into your daily living because not everyone can handle, understand, or accept the measure of your absolute commitment to excellence. So don't advertise everyone what your goals and objectives are. I say that because second, the more your goals and accomplishments are made known to others, the likelihood most of those others will speak profane about you. I'm referring not to curse words or expletives. I'm referring to those non-life-giving, non-life-supporting comments such as, you're not all that. You're nothing more than a, enjoy it now because you're going to fail. You're just like so-and-so. You're a sellout. Mark my words and stain them in your conscious and subconscious mind. Turn deaf ears and blind eyes to anyone who doesn't and won't support you, your ideals, your morals, and your values, and your life's desires for further accomplishments. Whether they're your so-called friends, associates, or here it comes, wait for it. What do y'all think I'm going to say next? Your family and relatives. You see, it's the people who claim to be closest to you, who claim to have your best interests in mind, who would ultimately be your dreams destroyer. Whether you strive to accomplish, go for it. Just because it sounds far-fetched and foreign to others doesn't make it improbable. Actually, if you refuse and deny yourself from pursuing your objectives and visions into fruition, you're not just confirming that it's improbable, you're advocating something worse. You're ensuring it remains non-existent. Now, by a round, I gotta ask this, by a round of applause, am I hitting it? for a moment, let me take a page out of the late Bernie Mac's book, and I do realize where we are. I'm just saying what most of you want to say, but too afraid to say. So frankly, I hope my message cuts deep to the white meat shows. That's what I love to say. How many of y'all thought I was going to say the other thing he likes to say? No. I'm not going to say that, but I am thinking it. Forgive me. Everyone, I'm filled with elation and honor that you have supported me throughout my presentation to serve as speaker of this, our fraternity's Achievement Week program. It is an honor I had not foreseen would be bestowed upon me. There is so much more I want to share. However, I must remain cognizant of the importance of order. Therefore, please afford me approximately 5 minutes as I reveal my closure. And by the way, it'll be 5 minutes because I time myself. Be appreciative to those who encouraged, uplifted, and sacrificed for you, and verbalize it to them with sincerity and humility. You know, I'm taking my jacket off because I'm about to get real strong with you all right now. And if those individuals are still amongst the living, express your appreciation while they're still with us in live physical form. Because if you don't, it will become a permanent resident in your thoughts. I'm an example of this. My father, the Honorable Mayor of New Bern for life, as he is affectionately referred to by others, and Daddy by me and Robbie, did so much for me. I attribute all of my successes to his teachings, guidance, and confidence in me. Unfortunately, I never conveyed it to him from my mouth to his living ears. And now I can only do it through my practice. Appreciate those sitting here now. Tell them thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. Acknowledge to them, it's because of you I'm a leader. It's by your prayers I'm standing in victory. It's by your sacrifice that I'm on the path of greatness. Do it now where they can hear you and not in the form of a eulogy. Be a blessing to a stranger just because. If you're walking through a door and someone is behind you, hold the door open for them. If you see someone off the highway or locally on the street soliciting for money, or they approach you at a gas station or strip mall parking lot, yeah, that's happened to me quite a bit. Give. By the way, it doesn't have to always be about money. You can be a supporter of divine intervention. For example, if you see an airplane on its landing approach, pray for its safe landing. If you see a car accident and EMS is on the scene, pray that no one was hurt or pray for their healing. If you see someone on the street who appears to be homeless, pray that they may find shelter. Do these things and do it without expecting a thank you or a reward. Do it because you can and want to. When you go to a fast food restaurant or grocery store, say hello, thank you, and appreciate them for their service. Your words of kindness could very well keep someone from going over the edge. Yeah, the old school rap song, The Message, by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, I know you all are in here, still has relevance to this day, all together. Don't push me. Come on, I'm not the only one. Come on, don't edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. The hard part, we'll end it right there. We'll end it right there. Your kind and sincere words could rebuild the destroyed, fix the broken, encourage the discouraged, and uplift the downtrodden. We're living in troubled times. Death is ravaging numerous neighborhoods, communities, townships, cities, states, and nations. But I have a solution. Taking a page out of my brother Robbie's book of wisdom, including from the Michael Jackson hit song, Man in the Mirror. Take a look at and evaluate yourself. Then ask, am I a proponent of life or a subjugator for death? Take a self-initiated oath to refrain from degrading, denigrating, or harming emotionally or physically others. If every person throughout the nation took and employed this oath, then there would be a stoppage to what is seemingly genocide to humanity. No one deserves to live a life of suffer, hostility, and angst. We can be a body and nation of peace. Just as a grassy field begins with the germination of a single seed, the majestic snow-laden mountaintops beginning with a single snowflake, and the deepest depths of Mother Earth's oceans begin with a single drop of rainwater, does a world filled with love, compassion, and respect For life begins with a single oath by oneself, serving as a beacon of light for others to adore, admire, accommodate, and employ. In closing, to our honorees, strive for perfection. Be the bowler who acquired the 310 frames. Be the first golfer to accomplish a score of 18. Yes, 18 straight hole-in-ones. Again, just because it sounds far-fetched and foreign to others and has not yet been done, doesn't mean you can't be the first one to accomplish such a feat. Be the student who procured the 1600 score on the SATs. Don't be a walking cliche, a could have been, or an almost was. Be the living example to follow for becoming an accomplished achiever. Don't ever ask if you are important or significant to life. You matter because God Almighty created and fashioned you in his own image. See Genesis 1:27. Don't just live, be alive, be lively, and accrue a fervor for living. Don't be embarrassed to show your sincere affections and emotions. Kiss and hug your mother and father. Tell them you love and appreciate them. Cry when you're saddened or happy. Be a person of integrity, patience, dignity, and charity. Be attentive to true wisdom as it is offered, and remember this: not every off-color comment should be dignified with a response. Be apologetic when you're wrong, and be confident yet humble in your state of being correct. You're familiar with the saying, sky's the limit, and reach for the stars. Reach beyond the stars and beyond. Now, what's beyond the stars? That's a rhetorical question. Here's the answer. You. Thank you, and God bless.